Alright, I'm out on the Pungo for the first time. Wilderness Systems Pungo. It's nice kayak. It's got storage in the back. Got my raincoat in there because it's looking like it might actually rain. Something I already noticed is it does pivot a little bit more than the sit on top. So it kind of rocks a little bit more back and forth. But it's got this plane right along this edge. And so if I tilt my body a little bit, it catches on that plane pretty good, so I don't have the sensation. For just a second you feel like you're going to go all the way over, but you really don't. It kind of stops on that plane, which is good. You've probably seen a lot about this particular kayak. It's got these knee pads, and you can adjust the back, and the water holder is a little on the shallow end, but storage up front that's dry. It gets wet, of course, from paddling. It's got bungees on the front, so it's a good kayak. I mean, so far I just pedaled from that boat ramp that you see on the far end there all the way over to here, and it's done really good. It tracks very, very good. Really impressed with the tracking. That's going to make it a little harder to steer, but since a good bit of my time will be on the lake, I think that's good. In a river, they say, you know, you just have to work it a little bit more than you would something with less of a keel. You can see in here where my finger is, that's the keel. So this has a little bit of a, it's not real deep V. That would be my text message. But on the front and the bow and stern, everything comes together in a V, so everything planes out. So that helps it track really well. And that's front and back, which is good. So, all right, I'm gonna try to spin around completely here. So you can see this Canada geese behind me. Got a little baby. There they are. I don't know if you can see on the other side there. Little baby. Looks like they only have one, so something must have got the others. It's kind of too bad. Really impressed with how fast this thing moves. Really impressed. Compared to my other one, this one's noticeably faster. Definitely faster. So there's the dam. There you are, Buford Dam. Yeah, it is pretty shallow right here. I don't know if get hung up or not. It's shallow. Probably only about 2 to 3 feet deep. Some rock under here. That's probably what that sign is for, because if a boat got in here, they'd be in big, big trouble. Between the rocks and the odd place. No, I mean between the rocks and the shore. And this bank is eroded right here. That big tree is straight on top of the hole, which means probably at some point that will come down. That's a good sized tree to be coming down, but it'll come down eventually. So, kind of sad. Get around this island, I'll be out of the wake of a lot of the stuff that's barreling behind me. To my right are 2 boat ramps, so a lot of people entering the lake from behind me. Get away from this. Get away from this rocks here a little bit. Wake's starting to come in from that boat. Another one's going behind me, so there's always something. Always something. It get pretty hot out here. yeah, I've paddled around this island in the other kayak, so I wish it had a flatter area. I could have pulled ashore near those rocks, but didn't. Clear. A park to our left. I think I'm gonna slip around that point and paddle over there before heading in. Not really ready to go back yet. Great heron or some type of heron. They may be hard heron. And there's a Canada goose over there too. Hopefully he won't fly, but you can see him sneaking his way through the bushes there. A little bit of rain coming down, a little bit of mist. Wants to rain. Yeah, there he is, right straight ahead of us. And over to our left, a couple of Canada geese. Since it's starting to mist, I want to head around the corner here. I'm really impressed with this kayak. It's very responsive. When you start paddling, it starts moving right away. Light, much lighter. It's only supposedly 11 pounds lighter, but boy, it sure feels a lot more than 11 pounds. Tracks well. Very, very well. The way it's built is the stern. I talked about this earlier. Depending on if I'm going to use that portion or this portion. The stern and the bow both have a nice keel, and also it was designed so that the waves will hit that front keel and be pushed out. I'm not terribly affected by wakes, badly. It just does a really good job. Yes, what can you say? It does a great job. This hatch that I've got the camera sitting on does a really good job of staying dry. I'm really impressed with that too. You hear a lot about hatches where they'll say, yeah, this has got a hatch, but make sure you put stuff in a dry bag. I got my raincoat behind me in the big hatch, and I thought, if it comes a cloud, I want to make sure I got something to keep me dry with. And it's a hoodie, so I can go all thug out here on my kayak. But yeah, the hatches stay, at least this front one stays really dry, and that probably has a lot to do with the fact that it's got a lever to pull pressure down, so you move a lever back and forth and it seals it up good, real good. Got some folks on there, wave runners and stuff, which is kind of neat. I'm sure they're having a good time. It's kind of neat. This is another, Lake Lanier was created by damming up the Chattahoochee. In fact, there's a town somewhere out in the middle of the lake. And as a result, there's a ton of coves. So this isn't a lake that's going to have a nice edge, a rounded edge to it. There's just cove after cove after cove. And if you went around the whole lake, I forget how many miles of shoreline, but it's like a crazy amount. But these little coves are kind of nice. I've already seen a heron, seen some turtles, a couple of turtles, one that jumped off a log and another that was out in the middle of the water. I think it was a soft shell, and just getting some air, saw him, and he ducked under the water after holding his nose out for a little air. These little coves are really nice, though. It gives you somewhere in a kayak to go, and it's out of the main channel. You know, I don't have to get out there with the boats. The lake, depending on the cove, obviously, depending on the spot, drops off quickly. So you can get pretty close to the shore, actually. Loose. If you look at that pine tree right there, another root has grown across the front of it, presumably from another pine tree. So it's got this strangulated thing going on, like the tree's being strangled by another. It's kind of weird. Good sized tree, though. This tree is growing, I mean, it doesn't have a lot longer to go before it's going to come down. As you can see, I wouldn't necessarily do this back home because of snakes in the tree, but you can see that it's growing right down on its last leg. It's very impressive, actually, that tree is able to sustain itself and keep itself on that. I mean, that shows you. Look, if you notice, all the roots directly under have already been sheared. So what's sustaining that tree are roots going in strictly from behind. You got to figure that tree could come down with very little effort. I'm completely, not completely, but yeah, my body's completely under its branches at the moment. I mean, that's just pretty wild. It really is. Lots of fun, lots of fun.